On August 5th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe lay motionless in a darkened room in Brentwood, California, Hollywood's queen, dead alone at 36. Who was behind her mysterious death? She had it all: fame, glamour, powerful men like Kennedy and DiMaggio. But Marilyn, sharp as a tack with an IQ of 168, always hid the pain behind the dumb blonde image Hollywood forced on her. The love she craved only brought heartbreak. But was that why she left this world? An investigator once said. That room was strangely clean, like someone tidied it up. Did Kennedy cover up political secrets? Could DiMaggio not let her go? Or did a bigger force silence her? Marilyn's death still haunts us. Stick around as we uncover her tragic story, where Hollywood's bright lights hid deadly shadows. Chapter 1. Shattered from Childhood. On the morning of August 5th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe's Brentwood home was quieter than usual. Her housekeeper, Eunice Murray, opened the bedroom door and froze at the sight. Marilyn lay still, white sheets crumpled, clutching a phone like she was waiting for a call. An empty bottle of sleeping pills rolled by her pillow, a dim bedside lamp casting light on her pale face. Blonde hair tangled, the woman who once had Hollywood begging for a smile was now as alone as little Norma Jean had been. No suicide note, just a heavy silence. Her life, full of spotlights and glory, ended just like that. If you think her death was the loneliest moment, you're wrong. Her life before she became Marilyn Monroe was even bleaker. Los Angeles in the 1940s sparkled with Hollywood dreams, but for Norma Jean, it was a maze of pain. Her mother, Gladys, lost to madness, left her bouncing through 12 foster homes. On cold nights in an orphanage, she hugged a torn pillow, whispering, "If just one person loved me, I could live." That yearning for love burned like a fire, pushing back the darkness of her abandoned years. That same yearning led Norma to a brutal choice at 16, the orphanage or marriage. She picked James Doherty, the tall neighbor boy, believing he'd protect her. "He was my way out," she said, her forced smile hiding desperate eyes. But Doherty didn't get the Hollywood dreams blazing inside her. Marriage felt like a prison, trapping her in a stranger's life, a neighbor once said. Norma would sit quietly, staring into nothing, like she'd been abandoned again. The scars of childhood and a broken marriage carved a curse she didn't yet see. But Norma didn't give up. One day, working at a munitions factory, a photographer spotted her. "This girl's different," he said. Those photos launched her into the spotlight. Platinum blonde hair, a captivating smile. Norma Jean became Marilyn Monroe. She thought Hollywood would be her savior, that it would love her truly. But to land her first role, rumors swirled she had to please the studio bosses. A 20th Century Fox assistant recalled. Marilyn walked out of the boss's office, face pale, dress disheveled, like her soul had left her body. The stardom she craved was the first knife in her back. Marilyn stood atop Hollywood, but her heart was still Norma Jean, aching to be loved. Were those childhood wounds and Hollywood's betrayals signs of a trap being set? Her broken loves paved the way to a deeper abyss. Did the glamour hide a conspiracy? Let's dig deeper. Chapter 2. The Abyss Beneath the Glamour. In 1949, Marilyn Monroe shone like a torch in Hollywood's sky. A small role in Ladies of the Chorus left audiences spellbound. Her platinum smile a rare gem in a sea of faces, but behind the glamour, her heart trembled. Marilyn, the woman who loved poetry and clutched books on set breaks, was caged by Hollywood as the blonde bombshell. The public adored her, but no one saw the real her. Was that stereotype the first cut? Pushing her toward darkness, Marilyn yearned for a safe harbor, someone who'd see past the dazzle to her soul. She dated Charlie Chaplin Jr., son of the cinema legend, hoping he'd understand her, the dreamer who read philosophy during breaks. But at a glitzy Hollywood party, with jazz blaring and expensive perfume in the air, he was captivated only by the screen siren, a friend said. Marilyn stood alone in a corner, sequined dress sparkling, gripping a champagne glass, eyes misty like she might cry. She whispered, "They don't see me, just the girl on the poster." Once again, she was abandoned, her heart cracking under the blinding lights. Then, like a bolt from the blue, A nude photo scandal erupted. In 1949, Hollywood tabloids screamed, "The bad girl of the screen," old photos from a desperate. Hungry time hit the newsstands. Crowds gossiped outside theaters. Housewives shook their heads, and studio bosses smirked. Marilyn faced the cameras with a sly smile. "I just wanted to buy a radio," but when the lights dimmed, in her small apartment under a faint desk lamp, she hugged her face, muttering, "They'll never see me. Who leaked those photos? A jealous lover? Or a studio locking her into the bad girl image to control her?" A set assistant whispered, "Someone wanted Marilyn to stay a puppet, never breaking free." The scandal was a tidal wave, lifting her to fame's peak but plunging her into pain. Every flashbulb, every headline, cut deeper. Who pulled the strings in the shadows? Was Hollywood setting a bigger trap? Waiting for Marilyn to fall under the stardom she once dreamed of. Chapter 3: The Shackles of Fame. By 1953, Marilyn Monroe was Hollywood's blazing star. In Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, her sweet voice and platinum smile had audiences cheering, theaters packed. By 1955's The 7-Year Itch, she was the queen of the screen, capturing millions of hearts. But beneath the glamour, her heart ached for something the spotlight couldn't give a real home. Marilyn, the brilliant woman with an IQ of 168, who read poetry under moonlight, was trapped as the blonde bombshell. The world loved her, but only the image. Then Joe DiMaggio, the baseball legend with a calm smile, stepped in, promising protection. Was he her light of salvation or a chain to a darker shadow? Their 1954 wedding was a Hollywood fairy tale. Under flashing press cameras, Marilyn glowed in a sparkling white dress, smiling brightly beside DiMaggio, whispering, "He's my home." The press dubbed them the Golden Couple, and fans were smitten, but in their luxurious apartment, under dim chandelier light. DiMaggio saw only the blonde star from the screen, not the deep Marilyn who dreamed of serious roles and read philosophy on breaks. The pressure to maintain her star image exhausted her sleepless nights revising scripts. Facing endless cameras, DiMaggio wanted her at home, cooking, waiting for him. "He doesn't understand me," she murmured one night, sitting by a window, watching the city lights twinkle. Tensions exploded during the filming of The 7-Year Itch on a New York street. Her white dress billowed in the breeze, the crowd roaring, cameras loving every moment, but DiMaggio stood there, face flushed, eyes burning with jealousy. A crew member said, that night. Their fight echoed through the hotel. Marilyn showed up the next morning, faint bruises on her arm, but smiled for the cameras like nothing happened. Just 9 months later, their marriage collapsed, citing mental cruelty. Marilyn stood alone in an empty apartment, streetlights glowing through the curtains, whispering, "I'm alone again." But DiMaggio wouldn't let go. Hollywood buzzed with rumors he followed her, standing under streetlights outside her hotel, hat pulled low, eyes fixed on her window. A waiter said he stood there like a ghost, as if she still belonged to him. One night, Marilyn woke startled, hearing a knock, but found only an empty hallway. DiMaggio's love became a shackle, choking her dreams of freedom. She turned to wine and pills, her eyes hollow, like a flame fading under pressure. That love didn't save Marilyn, it tightened around her heart. What drove DiMaggio's obsession was his jealousy, a warning of a greater tragedy lurking in Hollywood's shadows. Chapter 4: Betrayal That Tore Her Soul. In 1956, Marilyn Monroe ruled Hollywood, the 7-Year Itch cementing her as an immortal icon, but her heart, bleeding from love's cages, yearned for someone to see her, not the blonde bombshell, but the real Marilyn, the woman who loved art and poetry. Arthur Miller, the playwright with soulful eyes, entered her life, promising an intellectual haven. "He understands me," she said, beaming. But was this a guiding light or the cruelest betrayal yet? Their wedding was Hollywood's spotlight moment, like a queen marrying a scholar. Under twinkling chandeliers at the reception, Marilyn sparkled in a white silk gown, eyes alight, believing Miller would love her true self, the dreamer who devoured poetry and craved serious roles. But in their New York apartment, thick with cigarette smoke and ink, Miller grew distant. She tried to keep up, reading his scripts, discussing art. But his eyes cooled. One night, under a dim desk lamp, Marilyn opened Miller's journal, and her heart stopped. His words stabbed, "She's a disappointment. Clingy. Not what I expected." She dropped the book, hands trembling, the chandelier above seeming to shatter. A friend said. Marilyn cried until she couldn't anymore, clutching that journal, her heart torn apart. On the set of The Prince and the Showgirl in 1957, Marilyn struggled with lines, eyes blurred from pills. Miller stood by, cold, offering no comfort. A crew assistant whispered, "He left that journal out on purpose, like he wanted to break her spirit." Hollywood hummed with rumors Miller delayed scripts, letting her panic, as if proving she was just a dumb blonde. "I'm not good enough," she muttered to a co-star, voice choking, clutching a crumpled script. Wine and pills became her companions, her eyes empty, like a flame snuffed out. She started hearing voices in her head, confiding only in her therapist, her fear growing stronger. Miller's love, her hoped-for light, was a blade of betrayal, cutting deeper than any wound before. Who turned him against her? Was there a hidden hand, pushing Marilyn toward an abyss, paving the way for more powerful players? Chapter 5, Destroyed by Power, in 1961. Marilyn Monroe was a dazzling star, but fading in Hollywood's storm. Her role in The Misfits showcased her depth, but the spotlight couldn't hide her soul's cracks. After love's wounds and betrayals, she longed for someone to lift her beyond the blonde queen label, to see her as a true artist. Then John F. Kennedy, the charismatic president, entered, drawing her into a dangerous game. Was this a path to glory or a grave opening beneath her? Their affair sparked like fireworks. In 1962, at Madison Square Garden, Marilyn sang Happy Birthday to JFK, her voice sweet, her glittering dress hugging her curves, leaving 15,000 spectators breathless. The stage lights blazed, but her eyes sought only him in the crowd. Hollywood whispered they were lovers, meeting in secret rooms where light didn't reach. A close friend said, Marilyn dreamed JFK would take her somewhere free of judgment, but in her Brentwood apartment, under a dim desk lamp. She sat quietly, clutching a wine glass, murmuring, "Does he want me? Or just my fame, JFK, with a nation's power?" Didn't need the real Marilyn, he needed the icon to burnish his name. But this game was deadly. Marilyn hinted at secrets she dared not share. A waiter at a Kennedy party said. She clung to a red notebook, scribbling something, but her eyes were scared, like someone was watching. Darker rumors swirled. She called Jackie Kennedy, talking of a future with JFK. Jackie, voice icy, replied, "Wanna be First Lady? Try it, with all the trouble." Hollywood murmured the Kennedys wanted her silenced at any cost. Marilyn sank deeper into wine and pills, her eyes hollow, like a flame about to die. One night. She woke startled, hearing footsteps outside, but found only darkness. "I know too much," she whispered to a co-star, voice trembling, clutching her pillow. She was the brightest star, but alone in a cold room. JFK's power didn't save her. It swept her to the edge of life and death. Who made her a threat? Did that red notebook hold secrets that led to her end? Or was it a trap set by those behind the lights? Chapter 6, Death in the Dark Abyss, by the summer of 1962. Marilyn Monroe was a shadow of herself. The fire that once lit up Hollywood flickered in her cold Brentwood room. After betrayals and entanglement with power, she craved one last chance to be loved for herself, not the screen icon, but every night. Invisible footsteps outside her door, and the secret she held felt like a blade at her throat. Was the darkness her mind's nightmare, or a hand already sealing her fate? Her Brentwood room was pitch black, the glint of a pill bottle like broken promises. She lived in solitude, crushed by Hollywood's stereotypes, abandoned by the men in her life. A friend said, "She called me at midnight, saying someone knocked, but no one was there." Paranoia or a sign of tragedy? On August 5, 1962, Marilyn was found dead, clutching a phone, as if waiting for a saving call. The report said overdose, but mystery loomed. Marlon Brando, her friend, believed she was murdered. An investigator noted that room was oddly clean, like someone swept through. Who was behind it? Bobby Kennedy, fearing political leaks. DiMaggio with his obsessive love, or Marilyn herself, broken by abandonment, letting go. Love, her lifelong quest, brought only despair. "They don't love me, they love the blonde," she once whispered to a co-star. eyes empty. Hollywood's biases and abandonments from Chaplin Jr., DiMaggio, Miller, to Kennedy pushed her to the edge. She was the brightest star, but alone in a dark room. A friend said she felt watched, even when alone. Fear or a curse's grip rumors flew. The Kennedys wanted her quiet. DiMaggio couldn't release her. DiMaggio arranged her funeral, sending roses to her grave for 20 years. Was it love or guilt? Marilyn's death isn't just a question. Who extinguished her light-broken love, and the shadows trailing her led to an unsolved end? Let's look at her legacy. Her legacy and lessons. From Marilyn. On the morning of August 5, 1962, Marilyn Monroe's small Brentwood home in Los Angeles was silent as a tomb. Housekeeper Eunice Murray opened the bedroom door and froze. Marilyn lay still, white sheets tangled, clutching a phone for a call that never came. An empty pill bottle lay by her pillow, a dim lamp lighting her pale face, blonde hair in disarray. The woman who had Hollywood at her feet was as alone as little Norma Jean. No note, just a crushing silence. A friend said it felt like someone had just left the room. The pill bottle had no cap. Her red notebook was gone. Who left Marilyn alone in that cold room? Did she choose to let go, or did a hand snuff out her flame? Marilyn Monroe wasn't just a star, she's an eternal icon. Her platinum smile, her sweet voice in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Some Like It Hot, live on in films, on t-shirts, posters, and in millions of hearts. She paved the way for women to control their careers, starting her own production company, challenging Hollywood's bosses. But the cost was steep. A 1970 journalist wrote, "Marilyn didn't just die, she was erased to hide bigger secrets." Her death, suicide, or conspiracy sparked questions about mental health, addiction, and how Hollywood crushes its stars. Rumors about the Kennedys and that missing red notebook still chill us, though no one knows the truth. What do we learn from Marilyn? She showed us glamour doesn't always bring joy. Behind her radiant smile was a heart begging to be loved, to be seen. She proved that even with the world's adoration, you can be alone. Her story warns us, listen to those struggling, even if they seem to have it all, a friend once said. Marilyn always smiled, but her eyes were pleading. Do we miss those cries for help in our own lives? Marilyn's gone, but her legacy endures. She's a symbol of beauty, talent, and fragility. The mystery of her death accident, suicide, or murder may never be solved. That makes her all the more immortal. What do you think of Marilyn, a victim of Hollywood, or a woman who fought to her last breath? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more Hollywood mysteries, hit subscribe, ring the bell, because next week we'll dive into another story. Who else did the spotlight swallow whole?